Hey guys, I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo23. Now, for a while now, I've been wanting to try out the Madbull M16 hop-up chamber, and I finally got around to picking one up at a local store called Surplus that's located in Sultan, Washington. Pretty nice little store. I go there just to pick up ammo or whatever I need, small part, if I don't feel like waiting a week to get it. So this is it, the Madbull hop-up chamber. It's an interesting little guy. Hook up your LED tracer to it, which is like an extra $40-something. So if you feel like paying that for an internal tracer instead of the external suppressor tracer, this is a good option. Apart from that, it comes with a hop-up bucking, nub, and it's a complete chamber. It's supposed to be the most sturdy chamber as far as keeping your hop-up set the way you want it. So let's go ahead and put it together. I'm going to throw this in my Snow Wolf M99. So let's see what happens. I'm going to chrono that gun, then I'm going to toss this in there, and I'm going to re-chrono it and see what happens. Now, of course, I'll show you guys how to assemble the thing. I mean, what's the point of doing a video if I'm not going to show you guys how to assemble the dang thing? So let's get to it. Now let's go ahead and chrono it with some .3 gram rounds. Everything's totally stock, and the chamber has not been installed yet. So overall, it's shooting about 290 to 300 feet per second with .3 gram rounds. So here's the package. As you can see, I paid $39.99 for it, which is about the average online price, so I figured I wasn't losing any money and I wasn't really saving any. I could really care less. You can see it comes with the instruction manual and all the stuff you're going to need here. Now obviously it does not come with the LED tracer. You can buy that separately for about really the same price as the chamber. So the instruction manual here is actually pretty detailed. I'm really surprised. Madbull does a good job with this. So if you guys don't want to watch this video and you just want to do it yourselves, hey, look at the instruction manual, go for it. But if you want some first-hand help here, by all means watch the video, and hopefully it'll help you out a bit. The chamber itself is pretty nice, smooth, polished chrome. It actually does have the direction for which way hop is, so hop is turn the dial down. And of course, it comes with all the little pieces and parts, a bunch of O-rings, and whatever else you need. It also comes with a blue bucking, so that's kind of nice. The bucking isn't super hard, but I'd say it's good to about 400 to 420 feet per second. I wouldn't push it over that. If you get anything more, you probably should get a harder bucking than this. Now, it will come with 3 O-rings and the nub. Sadly, the nub is not the H or fishbone style, whichever you like to call it. It's just a regular old nub. It is pretty hard, so I wouldn't worry about getting a harder nub. This thing is actually probably one of the hardest nubs I've ever used, surprisingly enough. The installation of the O-rings is really easy. The smallest one goes on the bottom here. The largest one goes farther inward where the actual dial sits, and the middle-sized one sits right behind that. So all you really need from your old hop-up chamber is your barrel, since this thing comes with everything else you need. So next step, for me at least, I'm going to put the bucking on the barrel and go ahead and put that in the gun. Now you might want to put a little bit of grease on the outside of this bucking just to make sure it fits into the hop-up chamber smoothly and you're not forcing it in or ripping it or anything like that. Now go ahead and take your chamber and go ahead and insert your bucking and barrel in there. Make sure your hop-up opening is on top there. Now, like I said, these things are pretty tight. It might not fit. You might have to wiggle it in some. So once you've got your barrel in the chamber and it's all aligned and it's all good, take this little black clip, clip it on the bottom here, and just make sure it does not come out. This is what holds your barrel in place. Now, it'll also include one of these little brass washers, so just go ahead and put that on the end there, and it sits here just to help it be a little more stable. Next up, we can install the nub. I like to take needle nose pliers and go ahead and set that in there. You can go ahead and set that on top of the hop-up bucking in there, about in the center of the little opening there. Now, this is probably the trickiest part of getting a hop-up chamber together, is getting the arm on top of the nub. So, let's make sure everything's aligned and working. Go ahead and put the arm on the nub. Now once it has all aligned and installed and whatnot, you can go ahead and take this little silver pin and push it through. Now I'm going to have to manually align this. Once you have this little pin here through all the way, you can go ahead and take the little black nut washer here, whatever you want to call it, and lay it on the end of that so it actually stays in place. Alright, with the black washer in place, we got two things left. This little spring, that sits right here on this little peg, but I'm not going to use it because the Barrett does not require it. Now you just have to install this little ring thing, which is the actual hop-up adjustment dial. Now this is the interesting part. You got this little notch that needs to fit inside of this groove that's going around this. So what I'm going to recommend you do is press down on the little arm here and then put it on until it seats all the way. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. Now obviously the LED tracer unit can fit on the left side of this. All you need to do is hook it up. Should come with the little black washers like this, and that runs to your battery. Now it's got a connector there so you can disconnect that when you don't want it to work. Pretty easy to install. I really recommend it in the Barrett. It's a massive rifle and it's got loads and loads of internal room, so if you wanted to do that, it's very easy. Alright, we've got the Madbull hop-up chamber installed in the Snowwolf M99 or Barrett M82A1. Everything else is stock, still using 0.3 gram rounds. Wow, I'm really impressed. It did kind of jump around a little bit, anywhere from 260 to 330 or so, but generally it was around the 300 FPS area, 290 to 300. So it was shooting a little hotter, maybe a 5 FPS boost. That's not a lot, but it's a little bit. What you're really getting with this chamber is the fact that your ammo's not falling out when you pull out the magazine. That's what the little O-ring's there for. And your actual adjustment knob is a little more firm. Plus, it's a full metal chamber, it's pretty nice, and it comes with a bucking. For 40 bucks, I think it's a good deal. We just gotta see how consistent it is on the field, and we'll test it out later when this thing is completely fully upgraded and it's shooting really sexy and hot like that. So we'll just have to see about the accuracy on this thing later. For now, it's got a small FPS boost. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo23, signing off.